Morning, welcome to the video. It's Monday the 7th. Said that weird, didn't I? 7th of April. And this week we are starting our seeding job. So we started our scarifying jobs. Did a little bit of seeding last week, but we're starting the proper seeding jobs. And the reason why I wait till sort of April time is to get some kind of warmth in the ground. I mean, it's 4 degrees now, but it was 21 for the last couple of days during the day. Southwestern Railways for you. I don't know if that's on time or not. So what I've got, it took a lot of persuading, but I have had the client weekend scalp the lawn down, so basically cut it on its lowest setting. So this is great. You can already see that the lawn's really standing up and really reacting to what's happened. So this is perfect. So this is going to give us a blank canvas to scarify, overseed, feed, top dress. Perfect. So this seed was this lawn has featured in a video before. I measured it when it was all frozen, but it was turfed last year. The client then contacted me in the autumn saying that it'd gone a bit bare, could I overseed it, and that he'd heard that the autumn's the best time to seed, which it is. However, he contacted me during the season, and that's the worst time to contact a lawn guy. I've been describing it to some people as trying to buy a turkey on Christmas Day. It's just not going to happen. So you need to, if you are watching this and you are a homeowner thinking about getting your lawn renovated, you really need to get rid of a local lawn care person before the season in which that work needs to be completed. And it's just like if you are someone like myself and you're looking to buy a scarifier or an aerator, trying to buy it now is a terrible time because everyone's trying to buy it now. It's also like if you get your mower serviced, trying to get your mower serviced now is a terrible time because everybody's trying to start their mowers. They can't start because they've got stale fuel in, and now everyone wants their mower serviced at once. You're better off doing it in the season when you don't need it. So a little bit of preparation. Anyways, I've just taken the blower over just to get any dew off. Actually, there isn't that much. So yeah, I'm just going to get set up, get the scarifier in here, and then, well, make a mess. Okay, so we've done a couple of passes on this now, and because the lawn has been scalped down, that's the waste. There's not much come out. Okay, it's a new lawn, so there's never going to be that much moss and thatch out of there, but by getting rid of all that green growth, it's really not that much for me to clear up. So we're going to get this cleared up now, get this bagged. If there's any room in the green bin, we'll get it in there. So spooners are here with the soil. So this is Fenland. So this is your black gold or whatever they call it essentially, but this is Fenland's equivalent of it. That is a bag and a half of Fenland soil put out. Now hopefully this will be enough, but I've still got half a bag left, so I'll spread this as best as I can, and if I need to top it up with any more, I've got that available to me. So there we go. So basically 10 shovels to a barrow equals 13 barrow loads from one bag, and here comes that bloody train. All completed. So just about enough soil. Obviously I've got half a bag, but that is meant for another job, so I'll just quickly show you. So there you go, all done. And actually it looks like there's no soil there at all, but there's a builder's bag and a half chucked in there. And if we're close, there you go, you can see seed, fertilizer, and the client is on strict instructions to water, especially in this dryness. So now all I need to do, just with the little battery blower, is just blow off all the stuff on the patio. It's not going to germinate there. Morning, so Tuesday. So after the first job, I popped back here just to get rid of a few tools, pick up a few other things. Happened to leave my phone in the container all afternoon, so no footage of the last job. Now the last job was one you've seen before, and it was a lawn that was turfed in, I don't know, September of last year. No idea what's gone on there, but basically I would say 89% of the lawn was lost. Um, I know that the client didn't cut it soon enough. He said it was too wet. I think he probably left it way too long. Then when he did, he butchered it right down and scalped it right down. And then I assume probably didn't clear it up well enough. And yeah, that's just created a massive amount of problems, plus the really wet sort of autumn, winter that we've had, and it all died. Now, obviously some of it was shade, so that's obviously a bit of an issue. So anyways, took the scarifier over the renovation cartridge, just sort of smashed through the top layer, just to loosen it up a little bit and create some seed beds, and then seeded it, top dressed it, etc., fed it, all the stuff. I also put the germination fleece over as well. It was a small little lawn, so not too much of an issue. So we've got 2 jobs to do today. So we've got one which will be last week's lawn that I scalped down. We should continue with that. We need to scarify, need to aerate. I was gonna start the seeding process, and the topsoil's already arrived. That came yesterday on the same lorry as the lorry that turned up to the property I was at. So we've got all that. They're actually away till the weekend, so I'm going to try and postpone putting in the seed aspect of it down till later in the week. What that does mean is I did a cut just before Christmas last year, a one-off. She's asked if I can do another one, so I sort of looked at it, and I emailed her last night saying I could come in this afternoon. So basically the idea is to just crack on at this property until the afternoon, if you like, and then at about 2 o'clock go over and get that one cut. Okay, so we're on Thursday's lawn, although it's obviously Tuesday. The bags of soil have topped up. So what we've got is our dressing, very nice. But then we've got something which is a bit more gutsier and a bit more to it. So this is the cheaper stuff, if you like, or it's actually. So this is what I would buy if I was putting under turf, and I just wanted to higher the levels up. So essentially what I want that for is, there's a few areas where I want that, and that's just around some tree roots and things like that. And then there's this, I've shown you it before, but there's this area down here. I want to just get that through there, level it, and then put the dressing on top. You can see the grass looks quite green here. You can see all the bloody burn patches, and then you can see I kind of got one scalp setting in, if you like, before the mower kind of broke, and I had to fix it, if you remember last week. So hopefully that's going to work quite well, and we can get this scalp down. Once we've got the scalp down, we'll then start scarifying. If we can get scarified and cleared up, if we can get aerated, that'd be good too. And then we're off to go and do that one-off cut. What's good is the clients are away on holiday. However, by the time this is published on Saturday, probably, maybe Sunday, they will be back. They'll be back on the Friday. I would never make a video where I tell people that the client is on holiday and the house is empty. So yeah, it's. I know they'll be back in time, and that's why I wanted to delay the seeding on this job until nearer to when they're back. So if I can get it seeded maybe on Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon, I'll give it a good soaking and watering, and then they'll be back on Friday to take on the regular watering schedule. Okay, so after a little bit of a cut down, 2 passes with the scarifier has brought out this much. Obviously there's some up the front. Fortunately, as I say, the clients were away and the bin wasn't put out. And then I noticed that the bins, all the green bins were out in the road, and the bin lorry was coming down. So I quickly grabbed it, chucked it out into the street with about 30 seconds before the bin came along. They emptied it, and Now I've got an empty bin to fill up, which is obviously going to save the client money, because there won't be any, well, hopefully there won't be too much waste to have to remove, but also this the bin is on wheels, so it's easier to move than a heavy ton bag. So using the aerator, so as you can see I've got the new handle on there, which has got a bit more vibration in there. Also the one my original one had the sort of joystick, if you want to call it. Now it's got the traditional handle, so yeah, really good. You also, because on the joystick one, a bit like when you put certain cars into reverse, you have to pull a bit up. Quite often you'd sort of pinch your fingers in it. That obviously you just push it forwards, pull it back. It's a lot better. So all I've been doing is just punching just the little holes in there, just to break up the soil a little bit. It's so hard. Normally what I would do is, because I normally just keep this between yourselves, but normally I just tie up the handle with a bungee cord or something, so I don't have to literally hold the handle and let it just go around and just kind of guide it. But at some points it was bouncing all over the place, so normally what I do is let it kind of go, steer it one hand, and then do a little bit of footage or something. But there was no chance of risking that, because as I say, it was bouncing everywhere. But that's because we've just had no rain. Seems as though at the weekend there the weather might be breaking. I don't know if we're going to get anything down the south, but we shall just have to wait and see. But we will just carry on as we normally do, doing the things we do, and hope that we get something. If not, you just keep on your clients, just making sure they water in. Make sure that they know that it's their responsibility. It's all you can do. Okay, you might remember this one from just before Christmas. It's in a much better condition than when I last saw it, but still, it's not been probably cut since December, so there is quite a bit of growth. I'm using the Alco. That will all become clear why. The front's not too bad, but the back is all over the place. Lots of undulations. If you remember, I said in the last video when I was here, you know, normally you just use the Time Master and smash around, but because it's so undulating, you end up missing so much, especially over here. It sort of dips down and up, and it's kind of that sort of really high point there. So this sort of gully here, they've asked if I just leave this, so sort of basically cut around here to just try and encourage some growth there, as it's so sort of sparse and rubbish really. So yeah, not pretty. A cut will certainly tidy it up. Okay, so we've got a double cut. If anyone knows the Alco, I cut it on 4 and then on 3. To be honest, any lower than that and it's just going to ground out all over the place. But yeah, it's tidy for the weekend. That's what they wanted. It fitted with my schedule. I was able to nip over here quickly and get it done for them. But equally, they gave me a lot of notice that they would like it tidy for this weekend. Do you know, I've got to say, this Alco mower, I very rarely use it. I just use it on the jobs where I don't want to use any of, you know, like the haters, or it's a job that I can't quite get the Time Master into or whatever. But I've got to say, it's a bloody brilliant piece of kit. It's dead slow, but I suppose in that respect it bags really well. But it starts first time every single time. I do drain the fuel out of it, and I make a point of doing that, so it's never got stale fuel in. But bloody brilliant. It's one of those machines now that I don't know what I could sell it for. The hubcaps have all fallen off. As I say, it's a lot slower than it was originally, but it just plugs, it just fills a gap where that won't fit. And you know, I don't want to take a hater over and bugger up the roller or something like that. So in an ideal world, I would probably replace it with something like the I forget the name, but the Stills, the 726 something or other, I don't know, 7 series. There's only one of them, big bad boy Kawasaki engine, something like that, which is just for butchering unpretty lawns. Okay, so here we are. This is a lawn that should have been done last year, but for some reason didn't. I can't even remember now. Lots of dog burns. I mean, we'll do everything we can do. Whether the client can walk the dog somewhere else remains to be seen. Not my problem though. So it missed its cut last week. So we're going to do the cut first, which actually is fine because we would look to scalp it down anyways. So that's one pass with the Elite Scarifier. I've got the Elite today just because I've got a lot of stuff in the van. So it's obviously it's smaller. It's also a tiny little lawn, so I don't need anything as big as the Cayman. So what I have noticed is I'm going over it, I'm pulling up some massive stones. But it's a typical new build, isn't it? Just plonk some turf down on whatever. Okay, so that's 2 passes with the Scarifier and then a final cut to kind of clear up with the Hater 41 on setting 2. Setting 1 would just ground out. And bearing in mind this is a tiny little lawn, we've got a whole bag of rubbish. So yeah, I'm just going to run over with the aerator, just sort of put some holes in there, just a solid tine, just to hopefully try and break the ground up a little bit, because I think it's pretty solid. Okay, so there we go. Seeded, soiled, fertilised, fleeced, watered. So all I need to do now is, I've got my, I don't know if you can see that, it's a little aftercare, I've talked about this in the past. So yeah, that's when to water, watering new seed and when to water. Then it talks about doing the first cut, etc., but I'll be doing that, so he doesn't need to worry about that. So yeah. So there we go. All I need to do is push this through the door, and then we will, I'm not sure where I'm going next. We should wait and see. Okay, so just from one client to the other, went via Rigby Taylor, just picked myself up just a bag of seed, always need a bag of seed this time of year, and some granular wetting agent, which I'm going to use on this lawn because it's so dry, and I've opened it up, I've scarified it, I've punched holes. I'm going to get the granular into the ground, and then yeah, it's going to be in there. It's just going to help when the client waters it in. So at the moment all I'm doing is with not the top dressing, just the top soil, I'm just leveling the real sort of worst areas, the real kind of rooty bits. I mean, that root there's always going to be on show, it is what it is, but if I can just make it a bit smoother around, particularly like that root which runs there and in various little places, and then there's a little bit of a low spot in the back garden which I'm going to sort out as well, just going to make it easier when I'm mowing. Morning Thursday, so didn't film yesterday's afternoon video because the battery on my phone died, and cheeky so-and-sos are on holiday and they've turned their outside electric plugs off, so I couldn't even charge it. Anyways, it's Thursday, usual weekly mowing lawn, so cut the rough stuff and then spent the rest of the time just going around, select total weed killing driveways, pathways, everything else. It's nice and dry, so cracked on with that. So now I'm at my stay, which is this path here. So it is dry as old boots, is that the phrase? So I'm literally going around with a wire rake, just trying to till it up a little bit. I think that's the phrase. I've just gone over with the drag mat to just sort of level it off a little bit more, and essentially it's from, you can see sort of my rake there, round here and then round there. That's normally a rough bit of grass, so we'll sort of, I'm not so bothered about that, it is what it is. That'll be cut with a flail once or twice a year, so doesn't need to be too specific, isn't it? So yeah, so we are going to seed this, fertilise it. We're going to put a granular wetting agent down as well. Then my order of fleece didn't turn up, so I've got some. I've no idea how much is on the roll, so we will try and do as much as we possibly can with that. And also my order of pegs haven't turned up. Fortunately, there's lots of bricks and rocks and things down by the barns, so I should be able to put those out to just sort of stop it blowing away, and then maybe tomorrow come back and just finish the rest. And then also I've got a new source of a water sprinkler, which I think will be perfect for this area. Again, I don't know how successful it will be because I haven't got any pegs, but I'll show you all that as we crack on. Okay, so everything's been seeded. Now, the moment of truth. So what we've got is one of these sprinkler hoses. You can literally see the water coming past. So I assume what it will do is it will back all the way up. So this is, I've got 40 meters to do here. I've got 100 meters, so I've cut it in half. So this is 50. So as I say, not all the stuff turned up. So it's kind of, this kind of is what it is at the minute. And then it'll go all the way down to the end. Then once it's full, we should have some kind of a shower. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but this is very, very successful. This is working really, really well. This is brilliant. It's exactly what we need, and we're probably only a quarter turn on the tap as well. Obviously I'll come back and redo these areas which haven't been sheeted, but yeah, great success. Okay, so it's 3:30 now and we're on to the next job, and I will be here until those 2 bags of dressing are out. So what I did was essentially, as I say, yesterday battery was died and I didn't have any, couldn't charge it, so the really low undulating areas I filled those in with the cheap soil, if you like, and this area here, this area is really stony. It always will be because sort of the gravel sort of comes down here, but actually that's the only way I can get on the lawn without dragging it over the brickwork, which is new brickwork, so I don't want to do that. So yeah, so the ground has been, for recap, you can see it's been scarified, you can see that there's holes in there, and it's also been scalped. So it's, you know, realistically we've done all we can to create a decent kind of seed bed. Maybe I could have scarified it a couple more times, but again, I think they're going to struggle for water because they've got one tap and they've got to do front and back. I'm just hoping the gardener's not been in, because she has a habit of absolutely soaking everything, which is going to be a pain. Okay, and then you can see what I've done here. Lots of little isolated areas, and this bit was really sort of, I guess, where the patio's been put in. It was never recovered properly, so yeah, so this is good. Now I don't think I'm going to have enough dressing, to be perfectly honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the front, and then I'm going to certainly get to about this tree and do this area, and then if I need to do this separately on another day, then so be it. But what I don't really want to do is just like a light covering all over the place. Again, this has been scarified in 2 directions. This has been scalped. It's actually only been scalped on number 2 because it's so bumpy and it's so undulating that the mower just couldn't do it. That's a Hater 56. It just kept literally bottoming out, and I don't want to knacker my mower for the sake of just one person's lawn. They need a new sprinkler by the looks of it, but I've brought a load as well just to see. There's my wheelbarrow, which I left here, so it was one less thing to carry. Right, so now we are going to do 3 things. We are going to seed the lawn. We're going to work on the front first. We're going to seed it, we're going to fertilise it, and we're also going to put a granular wetting agent down. Then we're going to top dress it, and then get a sprinkler on while we work on the back. Okay, so something that's quite interesting, what I've done is I've just worked out how much seed I need. Basically split this lawn into 2 bits. Okay, so I've taken a line across here, and treated this as one section, and that is 8 by 6 meters, and then from here to the wall is 10, and then along is 12. So 12 times 10 is 120, and that is exactly the same distance or same meterage as the area that we've just done. Only the area we've just done was 3 meters wide by 40 meters. Okay, so we've got a lot of things going on here. Obviously we've got seed, the big balls are fertilizer, and the small balls are wetting agent. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here. So now we're going to top dress the rest of it and drag it in, then get some water on. Okay, so what we've got here is the top dressing. This is what I use. This is a 70-30 mix, and what you can see is I've probably got about 5 barrel loads in there. Now, the stuff you saw me using earlier in the week is called Finland. It has more organic matter, it's better for seed germination. I'd say this one's more for sort of dressing and blemishes and just general top dressing. However, what I will always do is 10 shovelfuls, good shovelfuls, to a barrow, and I know with Finland I will get 13 barrows out of a bag. The top dressing, as you can see, I've got 13 barrow loads. I still have 5 roughly barrow loads left, so you get, and they're the same price, so you get a lot more for your money when you order the top dressing over the Finland. But as I say, the Finland is a bit better for germination. Okay, so that's the 13 piles. I've just top dressed them out by hand. Not particularly well or accurately, I've just sort of knocked them around a bit, and the reason why is because I've got the drag mat, so the drag mat's going to actually do the hard work actually and move it all around, so I should do that now. So, I mean, I've still got all that to do, and that's the rough stuff, so I'm not doing that. But that's all the piles. I think there's about 20, I think, get 17 to a bag. So 17 barrow loads to a bag. So I had 1 bag and a bit left over from the front. So that's all put out by hand. Now I could do it a lot more precisely, like those piles there, but what I've got is a tool which is now I'll drag it around. What it'll do is it'll take all the loads, the thicker stuff, and then drag it and then release it into the lower bit. So I'm going to get that in a second. So there you go. So it just brushes it in, smooths it over, takes the heavier stuff and puts it somewhere else, and then yeah, makes a big difference. Pretty cool tool. Okay, so it's 7:10 now. Fortunately I only live 10 minutes away, so essentially I've got to about here. I've still got from here to the long stuff to do. Obviously I've done that bit. That was a particularly low spot, so I've dealt with that. And yeah, it's all been dragged in nicely. Client's back tomorrow, so they'll take over the watering. I've not got time to bother about with the sprinklers now. So the front is watered in, so what I'll do is I'll just send some photos to the client just explaining what I've done, what I need to do still, and what needs to be watered. The guy's sort of involved in golf, so he kind of gets the need for water. So that's good. I'll leave him my impact sprinkler, the one you saw, that one there. So that one pretty much does that whole area, which is great. So I'll leave that to them because I don't think I need it. I've got smaller sort of hose lock ones. So yeah, all good. Tomorrow mowing, maybe verticutting, haven't decided really. We'll just see how I feel in the time. Also, I haven't cut the fronts of the ones I'm doing tomorrow. I haven't cut the fronts for 2 weeks. I mean, we haven't had any rain, so maybe they don't need mowing. If they don't need mowing, then I'll maybe do some verticutting in the back or something. And the back's got cut last week, so maybe they don't need mowing. But only time will tell. Right, see you tomorrow. Okay, 7:30's Friday, isn't it? Obviously I took all the valuables out last night. I was way too late to get back to the container. Took all the valuables out, put them all back in, brought them up here, and here we are. So for the very last time I shall be picking tools out of this particular container. Okay, we're at the first property and it desperately needs a cut, so we'll be cutting. Can't really see, it's very dry obviously, but particularly where the dog pea patches are, they're just standing out. It needs cutting down, so we'll give it a trim. Also, because there's chance of heavy rain next week, if it's really heavy, then maybe I won't be able to cut next week, so then it will be 3 or 4 weeks without a cut. So I think you take the opportunity to do it while you can. Okay, things are looking dry. So actually I think I will put the sprinkler on there, although rain is due next week. Let's get the sprinkler on. If it's lying about, I haven't got one of my own today. Or have I? Actually, I might have one. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, looking very dry, isn't it? Okay, we're back at second property. If you remember 2 weeks ago we seeded that area. It's still a bit patchy here and there, but the seed is coming in. I think it took a while for the client to kind of really get the idea that she had to water regularly, but now she has. We have an improvement, so I'm going to cut it down, just so that the established grass doesn't dwarf the new seedlings, and then I'll probably cover it over just in the middle section where it's sparse-ist, just to help keep the birds off it really, because there's still seed in there that hasn't taken yet. Okay, so very dry, 21 degrees today I think it is, as you can see the edges and stuff. So as I say, it looks like it's going to be rainy all next week. So what I'm doing now is weeds are beginning to pop up on the paths and driveway and stuff. So with rain due next week, and then you'll never know what the following week's going to do, I'm going to make the most of the dry weather, and I'm just spraying some Total around the edges, so you can kind of see, just literally spot treating. That's all I'm doing. Wherever there's a weed, spot treating it, and that's it really. I'm just going to go around. There's one down there, just keeping on top of it really. So currently everything's, well, you've just got so many bags and just a load of equipment just stored there for the minute while I try and work out where to put it. There's quite a lot of stuff, isn't it? And here is home. So this is a 30-foot container. And yeah, the idea is now to get all the racking into this one as best I can, and yeah, try and come up with a plan to make life just a bit easier. Okay, so it's 4:30 on Saturday. This is taking a lot longer than it should because I had to keep ferrying the kids around because some idiot blocked my wife's car in, and then it's gone out for the day. Long story, but it's meant that I've had to keep driving around all over the place. Anyway, there we go. So this is essentially the space I had before, and that extra pretty much 3 meters. There you go, brings you to there. So obviously we get this much space. Now the advantage here is obviously I can move these mowers forwards if need be. I'm going to put some shelving in for all this sort of nonsense, so I can get that all tidied up. But what it does mean is I can get the trailer in here, I can get the tractor in here, I can get the tractor and trailer in here if necessary. It was kind of a case of get this stuff up, but that up there's a lot of gardening tools. The gardening tools will be hung up along there, so forks, shovels, etc. So they'll all be off of there. So then what I'll have is the shelf of stuff that I sometimes use, so hedge cutters, chainsaws, etc. All the stuff up there will be the 2-stroke tools that I never use, but I'm begrudging getting rid of yet, and spare hoses that might get used. I've put that sprayer just out the way for the moment, so I can move this one around a little bit. It's not very good actually, that one, but I can move that one closer to there, and then get some more shelving on. Actually I'll probably move this all down a couple of rungs, because there's no need for it to be where it is. I just sort of had to pick somewhere for the sake of getting it all up. So yeah, so that can go down, and then if that all moves down, this can move down. Yeah, and then that can move down. So I could then have shelving going along here, all the way along the top. So yeah, giving me plenty of options.